Hello, Cancer. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use the Thelema Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I guess I pushed those farther away from me than usual. I feel like I'm straining. Alright, already shuffled. Relationship first, single second. Okay. All the oracle cards came out with doubles, which is interestingly enough. Interestingly enough? Okay. Interestingly enough. There's a situation going on here, and I get that. I don't feel like that's a shock. But the thing is it because you want it to get along, or because you are? Partial. So what I'm feeling, these are the challenge cards, which is interesting. Your partner has the Sun as a challenge card. You have the Two of Cups as the challenge card. I feel like it's partly like you seem to be getting along pretty well, and you want to make sure you continue to get along. I don't feel like this is just about the two of you. I feel like this is external concerns. Like either family or work. I don't know if friends really fits, but friends could. Take it for what works for you. But I feel more like family or work. I feel like the two of you are going well, doing well, you and your partner. Everything seems good. And it's kind of like, I feel like you're more concerned about the change coming forward, causing issues around. Like either your family's going to be a little bit bothered by it, one or both, or somebody's work situation is going to get upset, or you're going to have to like change jobs or something along those lines. Because it feels like this is kind of one of those moments. Like there could be a move coming up. I don't really see move cards here, but again, like there's definitely like some type of change you're considering. And I feel like currently where you are, you have the Nine of Cups. The situation you're dealing with, and whatever factor, be it family, work, even if it's friends, maybe it's a combination, the situation is definitely going to affect other people, and it is weighing on you. And you're looking at the situation where it is right now, and you're like, where it is right now and where you have to go next. And I feel like it's one of those things where you're like, you've come to the point where you've made up your mind and you know where you got to go next. And you're just kind of weighing it out, like, how do I bring this forward? When am I going to bring this forward? Because it's going to have an impact. Your partner knows what's going on. I feel like your partner knows. They've got the Temperance card there, which is telling me they're waiting it out to see what you want to do. It's like the ball is in your court. When you're ready, how you want this to go forward, they're in. They're in. It's kind of like you're calling the shots for this one at this time. Whether that's a normal thing or not, for this situation, that's how I feel that's going. Now, I do see, like I have to talk about where you're standing. You got the Death card here. There's a change, and like in case you're wondering where I'm getting that from, that is here. There's a change coming. And you've got knowledge and fertility. You know what you have to do. The difference between knowledge and wisdom, the knowledge is having the know-how to do it. Wisdom is actually knowing how it's going to play out. Having something to fall back on to know how the actual dice actually fell. I don't know how to explain that. Wisdom contains knowledge. Wisdom is like the next level up from knowledge. It's like taking what you've known and experiencing it. It's kind of like the experience part of it, in my opinion. Knowledge is just kind of like the bare bones. This is what I know what to do. I know how I got to do it. That's the knowledge. So you know what you got to do. And you're feeling it's a really good situation that you need to do. Do I want to say good? They're saying yes. Okay. So you're standing in this spot. You're very committed to where you're going. You know what you got to do. It's just kind of when you're going to do it. Your partner has the Four of Cups for where they're standing. And especially for this card, I'm feeling like there's a lot going well. The 3 cups that are in place. See, that's the thing. Okay. And I'm saying that, and I probably should just explain it instead of going that way. You'll see there's 3 cards on the water. 3 cups on the water. That one is floating. One is not yet in position. And I feel like that's what we're saying with this situation. And being discontent because that last cup is still floating. That last cup has to go into place before this can really actualize as a situation. And they're standing in that spot, and they kind of want to bring it down and put it on the water with everything else. But I feel like they're in the boat where they're like, you have to be ready. When you're ready, the 2 of you can move forward together with strength, and it'll be okay. If you're pushed forward before you're ready, that your partner feels like that could be a big problem. You need to be ready. And I feel like that's how they're looking at it. Like, once you're ready, they're on board. I feel like they are ready. Your partner does seem ready to go forward. I don't know how you feel about that, as in when you're looking at them, if you believe they're ready. But I'm getting that when you say it's time to go, they're going. Okay. Now, somehow, I don't think this is meant to happen this way, which is strange for this card, but I do feel your partner lets the cat out of the bag. I'm getting somehow the cat gets out of the bag in the sense of like they spill the beans, they say what's going on, they tell somebody because they feel like they have to. And I'm getting the Queen of the Swords energy is mostly in this situation because if they don't bring it forward at this moment, it's kind of like a lie. Or it's going to set somebody up to fail. And I feel like they're faced with a situation, and if they don't say what their plans are, you know what I mean, they just let this other person go ahead with their assumption about how things can actually work out, they're setting this person up to fail, or they're setting this person up and they don't want to do that. So they feel like they kind of feel backed into a corner where they have to say something. I do get that they spill the beans. The Queen of Swords is telling me it's kind of like she's thinking it out due to what the situation is and where things are going. She doesn't have to say anything, but she doesn't want this to become a bigger situation or worse or have fallout for other people that she doesn't think that's fair for. So it's like she's making her decision. Don't get caught up in the gender either, but this person makes their decision like this is what's best for the situation, and they do say what they have to say. They spill the beans. When that happens, I feel like it takes a little stress off of you. And I'm getting kind of like this 7 of Swords energy, kind of like, now that my partner spilled the beans, maybe I can kind of let it take care of itself. Maybe we don't need to say more than that. Maybe that's enough to get the word out there and we can just start moving forward. Maybe I don't have to communicate that as much as I thought I was going to have to. Maybe it'll just travel word of mouth and that'll be enough. And I'll just have to answer some questions every now and then or just confirm what's happening. I'm getting that's where this seems to go. That seems to be a possible. I don't know if that can probably work for a period of time. I don't know how long that's going to actually last, because I'm getting the High Priestess is telling me this is spiritually things seem to be kind of playing out on their own, and I'm getting it seems to come forward where you need to actually say something, because I'm getting there's some misconceptions. People are filling in the blanks themselves. You're not saying much, so people are just kind of circumspection, something. They're just guessing what they think you know. They're guessing on what they think you feel or what you want. And because your partner came forward with it, they're not seeing how invested you are in this really, and I don't feel like it's coming across right. And the High Priestess is telling me the way it's coming in, the way you're feeling like people are misunderstanding why this change is happening, that this can't continue. This is not going to you're not going to be able to do that where you just let it kind of work on its own. You're going to have to come forward with the situation and how you feel, and you're going to have to let people know exactly what's happening and why. And I'm getting your partner has the 7 of Pentacles. They want to explain more. They want to give more detail. They may have spilled the beans, but they didn't give the whole picture. They didn't give the whole story. They didn't tell everything. It's kind of like they spilled the beans, a few came out, they put it back up. Like, here's just enough to let you know what's happening, but they're not giving they haven't given any details. They're waiting for that moment where it's time to give the full detail. Even though they told somebody or they spilled the beans a little bit, they did not give the full picture. And I'm getting that's another thing weighing on you. You're realizing, oh, the details are not out there yet. I'm going to have to add more. But this may be softening the blow so people know that something is coming. Now, what makes things better for you? I'm getting the King of Swords with the Passion and the Harvest. I'm getting you just need to go forward and push the situation forward, explain how you feel about it, and just finish it up with the Harvest, like just get it going. And I'm also getting, for some of you, it might be saying when it's time to move forward, when that time actually happens, when you're like, all right, we're going to be moving, for example, if that's going to be you, we're going to be moving on July 2nd. That's when we're going to pack up and go, or that's when we're going to, head out to whatever we're going, July 2nd. So you might be like, I'm going to tell people the last week of June, and that's what I feel like is right if it's a work situation. Or maybe you're like, well, family, I probably should let them know mid-June. I don't even know when this is going to be effective. This might be actually a little outdated, but you're gonna decide, like, based on when you're gonna actually kick this situation off, when you're gonna say something. Because I almost feel like you're creating a date in your mind. Like, this is the date, Wednesday, blah 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 date. I'm gonna say something at dinner, and that's how we're gonna deal with it. Or if it's a work thing, Monday, June, whatever. That's when I'm gonna tell the people I work with what's gonna happen and what I have to do. Because it feels like that's appropriate. I feel like you're setting a date in your mind. And I'm getting the King of Swords is you setting that date and then preparing for it the closer it gets. I feel like that puts you in the power position and things work out fine for you. Now, your partner, what makes things better for them? I'm getting, it seems like there's a couple cards going on here, because there is. They got the Hierophant. They want to honor you in the situation. I'm also getting what's making things better for them, oddly enough, is the Ten of Swords, because I feel like they want to blab it all. They just want to blab it all and get it off their chest, but they know they can't. I feel like this is hard for them to keep it together. Because I'm getting the confidence and the abundance. Like, they feel like this is a good thing, and they just don't want it to be a surprise anymore. And it's not... It's done. It's going the way it has to. It seems like it's purposeful. I don't feel like there's as much. I just feel like this is how it has to work out. And I'm getting what they're doing is they're holding true to you with the Hierophant. What you want, they're trying their best. I'm also getting that Ten of Swords is kind of how they spill the beans. I'm getting that's they feel bad about that. Like, I feel your partner's going through a lot of emotions here where they feel guilty. Guilty for saying something, then guilty for not saying more. It kind of flip-flops back and forth. But I feel like they have to have confidence that they're doing what's best for the situation, because I feel like that's the way to handle this. But it's not bad that the Ten of Swords is there. I just feel like that you should be aware of it. That, they're either feeling... I feel like it's a combination of the two. First, they're feeling guilty that they're not telling these people and they don't want to set them up for something bad, but then they're feeling guilty because they feel like they're letting you down by spilling the beans. If you stay in that mindset and you talk it out with them and you just say, all right, well, why did you say something? And they explain it and you just agree, like, yes, I would have done the same thing myself, something along those lines. I feel like that will lift a lot of the burden off your partner, because I'm getting there's guilt there. It feels like it goes back and forth. I feel like at first they feel guilty for not telling people because it feels like it's setting them up for failure if they don't. But then afterwards it's kind of rebounding and they're feeling guilty because they feel like they let you down. I'm getting that if you can just keep that in mind and talk it out with them, you can release them from that burden. It's the minor arcana, they can be released from it. I feel like you can release them from it. I feel like that's a big piece of this. It's going to play out as it needs to. I just feel like it's about the politics, about how to get there. All right, I think we got the message out. Whatever they wanted to say, I think we got it. Let's do Cancer singles. Messages for Cancer singles. What do we got for Cancer singles? Empowering information to help them see the truth of a situation, to help them move forward in a way that they want to go. Help them see truth and what they can do with it, and help them go and direct the situation based on what they truly want. Okay, that's it. All right, let's do these. See how many. Who knows how many of these will pop out, but we'll find out soon enough. Cancer singles. Yeah, that's an interesting start. Cancer singles. Yes. Okay. Let's see where this Cancer singles. That seems to go okay. We only got 2 of these cards, which is fine, and they're both face down, so I feel like they're connecting with the resolution of this situation. So I feel like that's what we need it mostly for. Now, the person you're interested in, I'm getting you've been waiting. 7 of Pentacles, it's a wait card, usually in some respect. Either it's not time for this reason, that reason, or, you know, it just doesn't seem like there's enough there to build or make something happen just yet. For whatever reason, it's a waiting card, and I'm getting mostly a wait feel from that card, so I'm just going to sit there with that. I'm also getting here, the King of Wands is where you're standing. Currently, I feel like you've been waiting for a while for this person, and I'm getting, it's just, you're getting fed up with it. You're just kind of like, I've been waiting, and I don't want to hold on anymore. The Hierophant at the bottom is telling me that you feel quite dedicated to the situation. For some of you, it's been like a side interest that, you know, it just comes in your mind, and you're like, this person is off the, you can't do it. It won't go forward for whatever reason, and you're just kind of like, just a person that comes into your mind every now and then, and you're like, oh, that would be great, but you're like, it's not going to happen because of XYZ reason, whatever. But I'm getting, the Hierophant makes me feel like this person has been tugging at your heartstrings for a while, and it just seems to be, it just lingers. Whether you want that feeling there or not, it just seems to hold on. And it feels like for some of you, it fades in and out. Like, you forget about this person for a little while, then something will happen or something will trigger your memory, and you'll start thinking about them again. And I'm getting the Ten of Wands here. Whatever way it's falling, this is a burden because it's just not able to happen. You have feelings here. You can't seem to let go of them, I'm getting with the Hierophant. It's almost like tradition. You just can't seem to let go of it. And you've been holding on, but it's just like waiting. And it's kind of like, I feel for a lot of you, it's not like you're trying to wait, you just seem to be. Your mind just kind of rolls back around to this person. You go through little phases where you're hoping something might happen, then nothing does. And it just doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen. Because that's the weird thing about this situation. You're going from the Ten of Swords to the Sun card. I'm getting, this seems to click forward really fast. It does seem like it changes fast, which I believe this moment results in both of these cards. Because your first reaction is the Ten of Swords, like, oh my god, what have I done? I know this isn't going to work. I know this isn't a possibility. And like something went forward. Either you said something or did something, whatever. However things went forward with this person, it's like they jumped forward really fast. And I feel like your initial reaction after you walk away, whatever that means, after you're separated from this person, the first thought is like, oh, that was a bad idea. This has no hope. Why did I do that? Which immediately turns into the Sun card with kind of like, you know what, maybe it is time. And I feel like I'm also getting like a mixture here, almost like this is going to cause some devastation, but you know what? Maybe it's time to cause that devastation. This is where this is starting. I'm not saying that's actually the truth. I'm just saying that's where it seems to be standing. The Ten of Swords with the Sun card is like, this is not ideal, but this feels great. That's what I'm getting. There's definitely restriction or some type of booby trap going on here where you're kind of like, this isn't good, but I've been waiting and I want to be with this person. Maybe it's just time to face that music and make it happen. It's stressed. It's stressed. There's anxiety with that. The Ten of Wands is really even stronger pulling in. Like, I feel before it was there because you're kind of like, oh, I'm feeling for this person, but nothing can come of it. I don't know why I feel for this person. Then it pushes into reality, a new type of stress, but still very stressful. It's stressful. I do also usually, especially in this deck, because this person is holding all those wands successfully, it's success through stress is what I usually view, especially in this deck. So it's not like you're looking at it like it's, destined for destruction. It just may be destined for a lot of fallout. And you may hit a point down the road where the two of you are happy, but what type of damage is left in that wake is a whole nother story. Because it feels like, and I'm noticing this, like this feels like it's kind of wondering what looms in the distance, how are other people going to feel type thing. Now, it jumps forward quickly. And I feel like part of you is kind of like, you know what, maybe that was just a moment. Maybe that's just going to fade away. It does not. Ten of Pentacles is telling me this, like the other person seems to be on the same page. And I'm getting like this seems to be cementing in pretty quickly. And like the two of you, I feel, are just enjoying the moment and not overthinking it to start with. It's just, it is what it is. There's going to be fallout. And you're talking it through and you're just like, well, this, that. I just feel like the conversation changes relatively quickly when it gets too heavy, and it's more about enjoying the time that you're with each other than anything else, more than anything else. But I feel like the Ten of Pentacles is saying, this is pretty solid, this is pretty strong here. And I am getting the King of Cups in the environment, like this person flat out in love with you. Flat out in love with you. But as that comes forward, I'm getting, you have the Two of Pentacles in your thoughts. You're like, oh boy. All right, so I'm getting this kind of like, it almost like a week, maybe a week, a little longer. You let it kind of go on, and then you're like, all right, whoa. Reality, what's happening? What am I doing? Like, and I feel like you're seeing all of the devastation you're going to cause around you or around this person, because for some reason you're thinking this is going to be a problem. And you're really starting to balance this out, like, whoa, what am I doing? What am I doing? And there's a talk about parting ways. The Six of Swords comes in, and a talk happens about parting ways, and just like, you know what, I don't know about this because I feel like it's going to cause a lot of fallout, a lot of damage. I think it's better if we just go our separate ways. There's 3 cards face down, so where does this end up is my question. Because so far, it just looks like, see, the passion is really strong there. Let's do this. We're going to flip this card. You got the Six of Wands. The victory happens here. The strength for your partner and the beauty. Is this going forward? I feel like it is. It's been, the feelings have been there too long, way too long. I'm getting there's a talk about moving on, and your partner does not want to, and your partner is trying to find a way to take on the brunt of the situation for you because your partner does not want to move on from this. Your partner does not want to move on from this. And I'm getting they're showing their strength, and they're talking with you, and they're convincing you to do this. And they're saying, and they're giving you good reasons why. And I'm getting like, the stress is coming in with the beauty. The beauty is more, this is connected to the end. This is you allowing it to go forward and really looking at yourself and like, what are your true intentions here? Did you really mean to hurt anybody's feelings or whatever the discord is? I'm getting the answer is an easy no. You're not looking to hurt anybody. But sometimes things change, and sometimes you just got to have the courage to realize that change needs to happen. And I'm getting just looking at yourself and realizing I'm not trying to upset people. I need to be happy. It's time to be happy. And this is what I really want. I need to do this. I'm getting it's happening. And I'm getting your Six of Wands is telling me that your success is by going through this trial, and it will be worth it in the long run. How that affects other people, because I feel like there's other people involved, it's going to take some time to sort that out. Some people are just going to decide they're going to feel the way they're going to feel. You have no control about how somebody else feels. But you just going forward honestly and just doing what you know your heart wants you to do, I feel like that's what you're doing. Just looking at this honestly, like, I'm not looking to hurt anybody. I just need to, it's been there for so long. I know where my heart wants to be, and I need to do this. And I feel like that's what you're doing. Done. All right. I'm going to wrap that up there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.